11 days out from the Ultimate Human Race Comrades Marathon and excited to catch up with some good friends. Obviously, we've got Dill with us. We've got legend Barry Holland with us. And we've got everyone's favorite in Bolito, was it Taylor? Morning, guys. And thanks so much for joining us on the podcast today.
Morning, Dubs.
Really
Hello,
cool
Dubsy.
to catch up. Thanks for an awesome run this morning. Bit of filming and some excitements around race day and just hearing some amazing stories and getting excited for race day. So I want to catch up, get some thoughts from you guys, some ideas around Comrades, what you've loved about it, many years of running. Barry obviously running 48th consecutive Comrades this year, which is unbelievable. And hearing some of the stories have just been phenomenal over the last few weeks running and training together. And maybe we can start there. You were chatting, Barry, when we were running, you were saying that your first couple of years at Comrades didn't go to plan. You were telling me a little while ago.
No, absolutely not. I mean, no. Comrades in the early days was, when I grew up with running, was very hit and miss. I honestly believe today we do, and that's guys like Wazir and myself, do a lot more mentoring of guys like yourselves, for example. Yep. I think you have a far greater platform off which to launch your assault on Comrades. We were kind of like babes in the wood. I just went and ran, and the guy just said, well, you run there and come back there, and that was it, and goodbye, and no help kind of in those days. And I think we mentor the guys a lot more today. So in my early years, I just went and ran with a group in Durban North. And then they realised that I obviously had some talent, so I got kicked out and sent to the higher group, as it were. Yep. And then I learned to run there because those guys were serious. I was running with gold medalists and things there. But
what do you mean you learned to run? Like when you say you learned to run, I feel like I'm still learning. Hey, Dubsy?
It's a great question.
So learned to run. When I ran with this group in Durban North, the Region Harriers, it was a bunch of guys like a lot of our Dolphins today, I suppose. They're just kind of runners. They just go and run, and they run for the joy of getting out in the morning and stuff. But when I went up to Billy to Swart, Billy led a group that was the sort of an elite group of the Durban North running scene. Sure. And as I said, they were all guys like Robbie Ashworth and Barry Gerber and John McBreety and guys like that. These were all gold medalists at Comrades. Yeah. And then me, so I learned to run because now suddenly I found out that to train, you had to do, hard, easy, that sort of thing. We never did that in the other group. So I now suddenly learned some of the principles of training because those were coming through to us from a guy like Billy, who was a very experienced runner. And so, that hard, easy principle, you're training hard today, Tuesday, Wednesday, you must run easy. Really easy. And I learned the difference between, lovely thing, a guy came out to South Africa. He was a British triathlete coach. And he came out and he spoke at a conference. And he said, he was asked about South African running and training methods and stuff like that. And he said, my observation of South African road running in general is that you run your hard runs too easy and your easy runs too hard.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I've heard
and that is, if you encapsulate that and think about that, unpack it, realize just it's so true. If you run your hard run, it must be properly hard. Because if you don't run it properly hard, if you run the next day and you're able to run the easy run hard again, you didn't run the first one hard enough. Wow. So just and you're only getting benefit if you run the hard one really hard. And then the easy one really easy, because the easy one is the recovery to allow you to run hard again the next day. Sure. And so I learned those that's when I say I learned to run, because I learned those principles of how to train properly.
Some of us just run or not running.
I feel like I'm in the company of giants here. The problem is I listen to stuff like this and I think tomorrow I'm going to go and run a sub 38K just because of what Barry just said. I blow it 4, So
that's amazing. You also said, Barry, that you've never got to the tap, you didn't get water. You didn't get there first.
Absolutely. I mean, we ran on a Saturday morning. Now we know the coast here. Now I was running in Durban North, so we ran from Durban North and we ran out to Umhlanga. Out along Umhlanga Rocks Drive. In those days, it was not built up. Yep. Durban North ended, and then it was sugarcane all the way to Umhlanga Rocks. Along Umhlanga Rocks Drive to the Sharks Board. Yes. We ran to the Sharks Board and back. It was 16 kilometres. And we used to run that 16 kilometres at they did, and then I had to go and learn to do it myself. Yeah. They ran that at like under 4 minutes a K, so on a Saturday morning. That was a Saturday morning run. Yeah. And I
is that a hard run or easy run?
Definitely the hard run. And I got there like wide-eyed and sort of, there was a tap, we went for some water, and I was expecting like the other group I'd come from to stand around and have a bit of a chat. got the water, and the guy was gone. Gone. Well, where have you gone now? No. If you want to catch up, you don't drink then. Don't drink. So it's exactly right, Dubs. If you want to just keep ahead of those guys, then don't drink, and that's obviously dangerous. That would be silly.
Yeah.
So I learned very quickly to run.
Get there first.
Get to the water first.
Get to the water first.
There's a message in that, Dubsy.
Absolutely.
Larry Holland's given me messages for the next 3 years of preaching.
Get your pen out, mate. And was yourself? How did you get into running? Are you a Maritzburg boy? There was no bus to Durban, so you started one.
I got on a scale and it went, in those days you had a needle.
Yeah.
And it went past begin. And I thought, hey, let's sort this out. So I started running, and that year I ran Comrades. And for me, it's been, I love running. Don't get me wrong. I love Comrades. I don't love all the, I've always said my mates at Dolphins, they always seem to love it more than I do. Like they can't wait to go running. I'll go running because I need to get on a few training runs. But for me, it's been about the weight. Keep the weight off, because otherwise you start getting
very good for the marriage. Yeah, but how many have you done? Was it?
I'm doing number 23 now.
Oh my word!
Yeah, why bother?
4.
You're number 4 this year. Yeah.
So guys, when we finish on the 28th, we'll have 71 Comrades between us.
That is amazing.
That is unbelievable.
That's awesome.
71 between us.
71 medals between the two of you guys. That
Incredible,
is incredible. Oh, my word. Anyway, that's amazing. All right, Adil, your first one.
Number 1, bud.
Number 1.
I'm so jealous.
Yeah,
I'm so jealous.
I love how you say that, because actually when on the run this morning we chatted,
I'm
you spoke about it. I started myself getting quite excited about my first one, watching myself do the first,
Well, let's hear, and we want to hear from what your expectations are. But to me, I just love the nervous energy of the novices. Yeah. They're so het up with nervous energy and get into that start line and everything. And as I said to so many novices, you're only a novice once.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's so unique. That's your one day. Incredible.
Yeah, I can't
I'm
wait.
jealous.
I can't wait.
When you run around that track, boy, fantastic.
I think you're going to love it, though.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to PB my last 5Ks just because I'm so fired up.
And
everyone that's done more than 5 Comrades just laughs. Yeah,
you're just going to hang on.
Yeah, just cross the line.
Try and remember the start that's in the what's our pens, eh? What's those things? In the pens. Try and remember that, because it goes so quickly.
It does.
I know you a little bit now, and you're going to love this. It's the most wonderful day.
Yeah. I mean, you guys, the 3 of you, as you talk about the Comrades, like I could start to feel the senses coming alive just in the conversations.
Yes.
So I can only imagine on the actual race day and the atmosphere and the Shosha as you speak about it. And
so special.
And the spectators along the road.
Yeah.
So special.
You're going to see your family. Tess is there.
So long as there's no banner hitting me over the back of my
that banner will be a good thing.
You'll be my banner, was it? You'll be my banner.
Oh, that's brilliant. Let's chat a little bit about the magic of Comrades. I think we hear these stories all the time out on the road. I sometimes wish I have a portable microphone or a recorder just to record some of the stories. Share a bit about the magic of race day, some of the stories. They're incredible. Barry, maybe we start with you. Just a couple of thoughts or stories. Or
Dubs, for me, I think to me the magic of Comrades is there's a couple of things, but I think it's the traditions of Comrades, which are all those wonderful things that start from the start. The cock crow of Max Trimborn, the singing of Shosha Loza, and the playing of the national anthem and Chariots of Fire. Yeah. Those are fantastic things. So those are the traditions of Comrades, and that runs right throughout the race. And then there's the hills, the famous hills that have all got names. And I've said to you this morning, don't worry about the hills that have got names, because you'll get up those, because mentally you're attuned to those hills, and you'll get up them in Changa or Cowies or Polly Shorts or whatever. It's the hills with no names that are going to really bite you. But it's all those traditions of Comrades that make Comrades this incredible race. It's just such a day it's taken 100 years to build us.
Yep.
And I really hope that we never lose those traditions. And many things that they come with that Comrades and they want to change this or do that and they want to get 30,000 people or whatever. And Wazza and I have discussed this. I think that's the wrong approach, because you start to lose by doing that. You have to have batch starts, and that impacts upon time medals like silvers and bull roans and stuff like that. Don't lose those things. Never ever lose those things, because that's the tradition of Comrades has been built over 100 years, and it's those wonderful things that make it. The other part of the magic of Comrades for me, and I think Wazza would agree here, I think there's a unique relationship between the crowd out there, the spectators, and the runners. And it's a millisecond relationship. You come past, you've got a name on you, and they'll say, "Go Dubs" or "Go Dill."
Yeah.
Now, they don't know you from a bar of soap.
That's so true.
But they are invested in what you're doing on the day.
Yeah.
Because, they talk about like overseas football crowds, and they talk about, say, the crowd at St. James Park that support Newcastle.
Yep.
And they'll say that crowd know their football.
Yes.
And other crowds don't know their football, but that crowd knows it's football. The Comrades spectators know the race.
Yeah, that's
awesome. And they know the race, and they know what you're doing.
Yep.
And that's fantastic. That's a special part of Comrades.
So would it be true to say, I remember as a kid, we used to go and work with Unidata and serve, at that time, Milo, bar and banana, to the Comrades runners in the 90s. But would it be true to say most spectators have been doing this annually for most of their lives?
A lot. You'll talk to people and say, we've lived in Hillcrest all our lives, and we've come out and watched Comrades since I was 3 years old, sort of thing. You'll meet people that are 40 and say, I've been on that Comrades course. Absolutely.
That's incredible.
Absolutely.
Deck chairs out in the pavements.
I love it.
Random
People make whole days out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
like a
live on the
national
road
day.
there in Hillcrest, and they come out early in the morning, and you come past at whatever time in the afternoon, and they've had breakfast and lunch. And
But Comrades is a national treasure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Belongs
Absolutely.
to South Africa. It belongs to every South African.
Yeah.
Especially, I remember as a young boy growing up in Joburg, watching on TV. Comrades Day was a big day, and none of our family weren't runners, but Comrades Day was a big day. It was on all day, and from the guys winning to the guys coming in 11 hours back then, it was an incredible day. And one day I looked at it and thought, I'd love to run it one day. I never thought I would, and here we are.
Yeah.
I love that it's become the thing we're using as a platform for obviously raising funds and whatever.
Yes.
Because as an event, it's got its prestige already, and to leverage that for the benefit of people out there.
Yes.
I think that all together has
Wonderful.
become so special, And I mean, even sitting around the table with you guys just feels like it's just a privilege. Like Dubsy said it before we jumped in. It's a privilege to run with you guys, but also to think that we're jumping into an adventure to help kids in rural communities read, and leveraging this national day to make our country, so it's just that there's a whole lot in my emotions that are just really stirred by this moment, So.
It is. It's awesome. And we're running for a purpose. We're running to put some libraries into some rural schools across our nation.
Come on.
And we're on a mission to raise a minimum of 500,000 Rand. And we are at 362, I think it is currently, which is amazing.
Brilliant.
And Barry, it's not your first one you've done for charity. You ran for Community Chest
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. Well, the last time we ran Comrades.
The last Comrades,
time,
2019. That's
yeah.
amazing. And just thank you guys for getting on board and getting behind the foundation. They're doing some amazing work, and excited for an awesome run together. So,
you guys must listen to me, eh?
yeah. So
When I say walk, I mean walk.
exactly. So
I'm talking to you.
you were chatting earlier.
But I can see problems coming for us, because I can see these young bulls. They're going to
Yeah,
want to go.
yeah.
They're
Even
strong,
this morning running, I went,
keep
I should have trained more.
They're half our age, and they're going to want to go.
No, but there's one simple principle in life. You always listen to a man with grey hair.
Yeah, come on. I agree with that, yeah.
So, as you were chatting about a 1052 bus, tell us a bit about race pace and how you pace yourself on a day, how we're going to get from Maritzburg to Durban. Because I think I asked this question because both you guys use this race for more than just a race. You use it for principles of life. And I think the way you structure our bus and how we're going to get from one side of KZN to the other is more than just a race plan. It's actually a life plan.
Yeah, so we're going to start out slow. I'm not saying you should start your life out slow, but it generally have starts like that.
Yeah.
It takes you time to get out of Maritzburg because there's congestion, there's start. Enjoy the start. Just get up to Top of Polly Shorts. It's still dark. Well, it might not be dark this year. Eh? It's August. We don't know August, but it's usually dark when we get to Top of Polly's. down up Linfield Park. We'll start looking at a few time charts. Now, you've only done 10 Ks, but we want to get you halfway. In the perfect time to me would be 5 hours 25. It's going to be so slow for you guys.
5:25 sounds fantastic.
That sounds good.
And I say that because we can run that's slower than we're running in the mornings now. I haven't worked out yet the exact time per kilometer, but it's slow. And the reason we want more power for the end, we want so a lot of people go, okay, I'm going to run, let's just round it off to 11 hours. Let me get 5 hours, and I've got 6 hours for the next half. And it doesn't quite work like this, Comrades. I reckon if we run the closest we can to equal splits, you've got a better chance of getting your time. We want to leave a few minutes extra for the second half, but not dozens of minutes, because you burn all your matches going too fast, trying to get that time. You need power at the end, am I right?
Absolutely.
Not time.
I think an interesting thing on the time that we're going to be running, if you do the arithmetic and you divide it out, we have to run effectively over 7 minutes a K.
Yeah.
Now, even now, we're old and slow now, but you guys will not run at 7 minutes a K. It'll kill you.
Yeah.
It'll absolutely kill you. It's just too slow. You can't run at that pace. So I can't run comfortably at 7 minutes a K now. So when we're running, we'll run far more comfortably at 6:10 or 6:15 or 6:20 or whatever, comfortable.
Yeah.
The drain off of time will be taken with the walking. So when we're walking, we're losing. Now you're walking at 10, 11, 12 minutes a K.
Yeah.
So your time disappears. It all comes back eventually to your 7 minutes and some seconds per kilometer. But we will not make the mistake of trying to run too slowly. It'll kill you. Absolutely kill you.
Yeah, I like what you said earlier about you got to walk before you want to walk.
Yeah.
Like that's a good laugh.
Before you have to.
Before you
have to. Yeah.
I'm going to need that advice.
Yeah. So you'll walk on the hills because you're giving away less time because you're going to run slow on the hills anyway. So we'll conserve our energy on the hills. And short walks. I mean, you don't need to walk at Linfield Park. Be fit, man.
Yeah.
Can run all that, and but we will. And we'll pick the walks up back of Inchangi. You're going to have a few walks, but 50 meters, then we're running to that tree there. And guys, all the trees are green. I call lots of trees there. And they're all green as my green tree.
All I'm thinking about is if there's a hill that you don't mention, and Barry's told me to worry about those ones, This is in Changa. No problem, guys. This one I'm not sure of.
I know exactly where that one hill is. Just by Hillcrest.
Yeah, correct.
So there's no namers. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna laugh. We're gonna tell stories. We're going to cry tears of joy, sometimes tears of pain. When you're in your patch, I'm going to help you get out of it. When I'm in my patch, you're going to help me get out of it. And it's special running in a bus. We help each other. And when we're all done, we find somebody else, because there's somebody else worse than you. I help them, and your problems will disappear.
Yeah. And guys, you're allowed to cry.
Yeah.
You are allowed to cry. I mean, I know grown men are not supposed to cry, but you're allowed to cry. When you see your families on the road,
Thanks
you're
for
going to
the
cry.
permission, Barry.
You're going to cry.
And advice that I give to lots of people when they're really struggling, and this is for life too, find somebody to help, because there's always somebody worse than you. And it's amazing. You're now serving and your problems go away. And it's amazing.
I've watched Dubsy from a distance, though, because he's run the last few marathons. And he would send like a video note to us, like at 45 Ks. Hey, he's smiling, he's chin aches, what's happening? I always think to myself, like, I'm not sure if that would be me. I'm smiling at the start line, I'm crying at 45, I'm desperate for a friend at 60. So
I wiped my eyes before that video.
I realized it was just Instagram.
I'm fine.
Spectators are fabulous on Comrades, but the most important spectators are your family. And you can be broken at 44.2 Ks, and they sitting at 44.4, and you are fine. You come around that corner and everything's fine. I love my darling, I love you, and they love you back. And it's
I've always said it's such an emotional day. From the rooster crowing and Shoshaloza, and like you shattered already in tears before the race even kicked off. And I remember the race announcer at the 2019 uprun said something so profound. He said, "Hey guys, remember this. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it."
Yeah.
And there's 16,120 odd runners or whatever it is this year. So it's emotional from there, and then through the run you're crying happy tears, then you're crying sad tears, then you're crying sore tears, then you see your family, And then you hit the stadium and the mat. And
absolutely. I mean, you remember the last down run we all ran together.
Yeah.
And we ran with my daughter Catherine.
Correct.
Her first and only Comrades.
Yeah.
I mean, she was at halfway. She was a basket case. She collapsed mentally because halfway is so hard mentally because your mind says, wow, I've just done that. My God, that was hard.
Yeah.
And now I've got to do that again. And her mind collapsed. And then, I mean, she was so strong after that. She got back together again in her head. And then in Pinetown, she saw her family. She saw her mom and her husband and stuff like that. And she was all emotional again and in floods of tears.
Yeah.
And then she pulled us home over the last, 5Ks or so. She was incredible, pulling us home. So
I suppose 10 hours is a long time for. It's just a long period of time. A lot can happen in 10 hours in any day, let alone a Comrades Day. So
very much so. Yeah, I used to often talk about I talk about the racing days when I was racing Comrades, and I think one of the biggest challenges was to concentrate for that time. You're running Comrades in 7.5, 7 hours or whatever. You've got to concentrate for 7 hours.
Yeah.
Because if you're not focused, if you allow your mind to wander, your time will drop straight away. It's incredible.
Amazing.
You'll be running 4.5 minutes a K, the next minute you're running 5.5 minutes a K, because you're not concentrating anymore. So you have to concentrate. When those guys win Comrades, they're concentrating for 5.5 hours.
I mean, that fascinated me, even as you're talking about visualizing when you were running in the silver medal days, visualizing your time and actually achieving the time you saw. And you had like Post-its all over your house. I think of all those little things about Comrades, like it's a big deal. You got to put your mind on this thing.
No, absolutely. Dill, 30% of Comrades is in your legs, 70% is in your head.
Wow.
70% in your head. If you've got a great head, you'll be a great Comrades runner. If you haven't got the power to concentrate, they haven't got the determination, the ability to take the pain, you won't be a great Comrades runner. You'll run Comrades, but you won't be a great Comrades runner.
Sure.
But it's 70% in your head. Promise you. It's 5 months to get 30%. And 10 hours to produce the 70%. Sure.
Which is probably why, when we launched the campaign, so many guys just jumped on board. They said, "This is amazing." If you they looked at me. I don't know what they were trying to say, but they're like, "If you're going to do Comrades, we're going to get behind it." But in my mind, I was just thinking, it's just an event. But people on the outside know this is not just an event. Although it's 16,000 runners, which sounds like a big chunk, it's only 16,000 of a country. And even some internationals. So when people see, okay, you're running for a cause, they go, and it's the Comrades, it's not just a park run type thing, it's quite a big deal.
Well, that's the thing. It's the greatest road race in the world.
Wow, that's amazing.
Simple.
Yeah.
So if anyone's listening to this right now, they should realize we're doing the greatest road race in the world so that we can build libraries for people.
Yes. Yeah.
So
and that's fantastic.
That's exciting.
That is really awesome.
I want to just put on record here that I was having a chat to Kath Slev and this Link Foundation and Kath Slev are sort of joined, and she said if we get to 500,000, she's running next year.
Is that what she said
and,
on the record?
And then she said, then I'll have to get Mark, because we all know he can run.
Well, Mark he's run at 8:15 was his one and only. He has promised that if she runs, he'll run.
So we got to get to 500, then she's in.
I think that's a done deal.
Right?
Fantastic.
Very good.
That's fantastic.
We're not far away.
We'll be crossing Barry's 50th finish line with him.
Look, I'm going to need you guys for 50. Yeah, definitely.
No,
for 50.
We're going to 50, Barry. That's for sure. It's been an amazing chat, and grateful for both you guys, what you brought to the sport of running, what you brought to our community as a whole on the Greater North Coast. Grateful for the Striders. I ran my first Comrades with Discovery Vitality. I had no idea about Striders. I didn't even know I was going to run Comrades, but slowly just built up through the year and ran my first one. It was the loneliest day of my life. I literally ran on my own, and I'm a community guy. I love community. I love our local church family. I've loved being a part of the Striders, and I've loved watching how the Striders have actually taken non-runners, got them to 10, got them to 21, built family, built community. And we run with some incredible guys on a Saturday morning now that 2 or 3 years ago wouldn't consider themselves running. It's a real privilege to run with the Dolphin Coast Striders, and grateful for you two guys who have built such an incredible community within the Striders and the community that you guys have built there. Done so well.
Yeah, not enough can actually be said for what you build beyond the run.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
It really is such a big deal. Not just the Comrades run, the Saturday runs, the Wednesday runs, but the life that flows from your guys' story of running in the communities and businesses and families. So yeah, I think I just echo Dubsy's thoughts just to say, one, it's exciting to run with you. But two, we just want to honor you guys actually for building communities with the platform of running. It's amazing.
Thank you. I think it's 2 and 2 making 5 in a community such as ours. When you've got a club like ours, and then linked to a church like this, for example, and all the good things that come out of that, they're all molded into one.
What an initiative! I mean,
they're all they're just gears in a bigger piece of machinery. And I just think it all works so nicely. I mean. Our club is more than just a bunch of runners running in the morning. It just is so much more than that.
Absolutely.
I mean, imagine if we can be a little part of building 11 libraries. I mean, and what an initiative, and well done to you guys for putting that out there, and Link Foundation building libraries. I mean.
I remember going for a run with Dubs, Azefontein. We were on holiday, January 2022. And we did 6Ks on the beach in Azefontein. And somewhere in the middle of those 6Ks, we decided we were going to do Comrades. I just said, I'm going to do it. Now, everyone says to Dubs every year they're doing Comrades. And so I just thought this year I'm going to keep going and we're going to do it. So it's quite amazing just to be sitting around a table a week out and it's actually happening. And as I said, I think you guys are going to look really awesome in a pink undertone. The pink tiger. But you know what I love about it? It says there, the people movement, and isn't that what it's all about? So
look, I think it's my color.
Match your eyes.
You'd wear it well, Barry. You'd wear it well.
That's amazing. All right. Thanks so much for catching up. I'd love one last thought from each of you heading into the final week of Comrades, whatever that might look like. You go first, Watson.
You're going to be nervous this week, especially you, Dill's first run. You're going to have a phantom flu. You're going to have phantom injury. Just relax, enjoy it, take it all in, and we're going to have a fun day on the 20th.
Come on.
Excited.
Yeah, I would maybe echo that in the sense that to enjoy every single minute of it. It's as I've said, and going back over old ground, but you're only a novice once, and it's going to be a fantastic day for you. Comrades is just so much bigger than all of us, like in so many things in life, and it's a South African icon, and it's a South African treasure. So take it on and just enjoy every second.
Can't wait. I'm running with my mate and some new friends from running. But I would just say to people that are listening to this, I'm excited to get across the line. There's that nervous energy. But even though some people aren't running, they can still be part of the run.
Yeah.
And whether that's cheering us on the sidelines to make sure we get across there, or whether that's getting behind the campaign, whatever it looks like, actually there's a bigger community at hand.
Yeah.
And so I look forward to running with, 60 million people in the country. I don't know how many of those actually see the race, but it's bigger than us. And so I'm looking forward to every voice a part of it.
That is awesome. I'm just excited to run. Got the chairman's run on Saturday morning, and then Barry does a full chat of the race profile and the down run Saturday morning, which is awesome. I think this week leading up to Comrades is always so special. Going to the expo and grabbing your race pack and getting some shirts and hats for the year and getting ready to head up to Maritzburg. So excited for that, and just really excited to come down the hill with you guys and to get behind the foundation. If you have not done so yet and you'd like to get involved somehow, all the information you'll need will be posted onto this podcast. You can jump onto Link Foundation. That's where you can donate. It's a really simple platform, and we'd love you to get behind it because I think it's going to be an incredible day. We'll definitely run with the phone. We'll take some photos and some Instagram live shots while we're running, just brief ones. And then we'll keep you up to date with exactly what's happening on the race day. So it's going to be awesome. Guys, thank you so much for your time. Very grateful. Thanks for an awesome run this morning.
Wonderful.
And 11 days to go. Let's do it.
See you on the race line.
Yeah, indeed.